Hi, and welcome to this week's Happy Hour. So, this week I want to talk about types or styles of meditation. So, if you're new to meditation, you might just think, well, that you meditate. There's one thing that you do. And it's far from the truth. There are literally hundreds, thousands of different techniques that all fall under this kind of umbrella category of meditation. So it's similar to, say, if we were to talk about exercise. Exercise is the umbrella term, but within that kind of term of exercise, there are thousands of different types. So you could be swimming, you could go for a walk, you might do yoga, you might do intense cardio training, go for a run. There are literally almost unending ways that you can do this umbrella term of exercise. And meditation is the same. There are thousands of different ways that you can meditate. But what we find is that they tend to fall within four kind of distinct categories or groups. Sometimes they'll cross over, but generally there are four main styles of meditation. And I want to go just quickly through those today. So, the first type of meditation is what we would call present moment awareness or concentration techniques. And if you have tried meditation, particularly if you've done any mindfulness techniques, then most likely they've fallen in this category. And what we're doing with present moment awareness techniques is, as it suggests, we are bringing our awareness into the present moment. So we are drawing our attention away from the past, away from the future, away from kind of wandering off into thought and into rehashing things, and bringing our awareness fully into what is happening right now, which is the only thing that's ever happening, is right now. The past is gone, the future's not here. We only ever have this moment. And that's the kind of focus of all of these type of techniques. And you can have internal points of focus. The most common one is the breath. If you've ever done a breath awareness meditation where you're just focusing and bringing the attention back to the breath, it's present moment awareness or concentration. And as it suggests, we're concentrating, we're focusing, we're drawing the attention back. So it could be an internal, like the breath or sensations in the body. Could be external. Sometimes you might look at a candle and keep the attention on what's happening with the candle, or staring at a piece of art and maintaining the focus on there. Or there are some styles that are more open, where you would just open your awareness and see what sensations come up in the body, what sensations, what sounds you can hear, what you can see and smell and taste, really getting into the senses, but in a more open way. And that's still present moment awareness. So the second type of meditation is also really common. And if you've ever listened to a guided meditation on an app or gone to a meditation class, this is the style of meditation that you've likely done. And it's called calm focus or contemplation. And so, as that name suggests, it's about getting into a calm, relaxed, deep state, and then contemplating a particular goal. Or it's similar to present moment awareness in that we are kind of focusing and drawing the attention, but it's different in that there can be a goal. There's usually not a goal when we're looking at present moment awareness, and there's also no judgment. So we're not trying to make anything happen, and we're not judging any experience that pops up. That's a really key thing for present moment awareness. With contemplative practices, there can be a goal. So, and we can also draw the awareness and the focus into something in the future. So perhaps goals, visualizations of what you'd like to see, or looking back on the past and working with things that have happened in the past. So it's different in that way, in that it can be in the more future or past focused, and there can be a goal. So that's contemplation techniques. And there are literally thousands of those that you can find on apps, or if you go to a class, or you can create for yourself. So that's the second main style of meditation. The third one is energized body and mind meditations. And I like to call these meditation in movement, or movement meditations. And for these ones here, it's not about sitting still. So techniques like very contemplative yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong, breath work. And that's so with these types of meditations, there can be movement, there's action, and but we're still in a very deep, calm, relaxed, meditative state. It's similar if if you're a runner, people who run will often describe if they can get past that sort of uncomfortable state when they're running, they'll hit a point where they get it like a runner's high. And that's the natural form of this type of meditation. And what it'll be is they'll be highly energized and, feeling really alive and vibrant, but also really relaxed and calm, and almost like you can see 360 degrees, like really aware of what's going on. So that's energized body and mind. I would also fit in under here embodiment practices. So there is a big field of embodiment practices. And sometimes people will put them separate to meditation, but I think that they really fit in this area. So with these types of practices, it's really about connecting in with your body in various ways, but being fully present in the body. And it has that similar state. So you're deeply connected, you're very energized sometimes, not always, but it's that connection with body and movement and breath. So those ones sort of fit in this area. And then the final type of meditation is transcendence, or self-discovery, they're sometimes called. These are predominantly mantra-based meditations. So a mantra is a sound or a word or a phrase that has a deep significance. And often it's not the words or the meaning of the words, but the sound itself has a quality to it that helps the body and the mind to kind of settle into very deep states of awareness. And so it's called transcendence because if you practice this type of meditation, and you can do this with other types of meditation as well, but it's more noticed, and it's more a part of the practice for this type of meditation. You'll hit a point where you just get progressively more and more relaxed until you'll reach a point where the body and the mind are so deeply relaxed that you almost dip into a different state of consciousness in between waking and sleeping. So it has characteristics of both. So you will be completely relaxed, often, and when you get to this rate, no thought, just pure awareness. And it may only be for a very brief period of time, but that's kind of what we can find with these types of practices. So the mantra itself is a tool to help you to get more and more relaxed. So that's it. That's the 4 main styles or types of meditation. Now, which one's best for you? Well, that's really dependent on you. Each of us has, I guess, a particular mind type or a preferred way of reaching kind of deep meditative calm states. And so depending on what your preferences are, one or the other of these styles of techniques might feel more comfortable to you. But we can all do all of these styles. And sometimes it can be a good practice to challenge ourselves to do a style of meditation that isn't natural to our or our preferred way of meditating. The best way to find out what your preferred kind of style of meditation is would be to work with a meditation teacher who can ask some kind of key questions to find out what's going to be the easiest for you to work into your life, and also what practices might be more challenging that you might want to work towards to expand your skill set when it comes to meditation. So I hope that's been useful. If you have any questions or you would like me to go into more detail about any of these kind of key styles, let me know in the comments below and I can do some follow-up videos if we need to. So I hope you have a great week and I will see you next week.